You know that feeling, that sudden creeping heat that takes over your whole body? We've all been there. We call it a fever. But what if I told you that this thing we call pyrexia isn't actually the enemy? Today, we're going to decode what's really happening when your body's internal fire alarm goes off, right? That whole experience, the burning up, the aches, the shivers that you just can't shake. It feels like your body has turned against you. But has it? Or is it trying to send you a really, really important message? Let's figure it out. So, at its most basic level, a fever is just a temporary spike in your body's temperature. It's not the sickness itself. Think of it more as a powerful first responder. It's the ultimate signal that your immune system has officially clocked in and is going to battle with some kind of intruder, like a virus or bacteria. Okay, so your body has basically declared war on an invader. But what does that war actually feel like? Let's break down the classic warning signs symptom by symptom. The first, and let's be honest, the most obvious sign is that high number on the thermometer. A reading like 39 degrees Celsius, which is around 102 Fahrenheit, is a huge clue. It tells you your body has purposefully cranked up its own internal thermostat. But believe me, that's just the opening shot in this fight. But here's where it gets kind of weird, right? Your internal temperature is through the roof, but you feel absolutely freezing. Why is that? Well, your body is creating its own heat by forcing your muscles to contract and relax super, super fast. And that's what shivering is. It's your body's furnace kicking into overdrive to make the environment inside you so hot that those nasty germs just can't survive. And what about that pounding headache that always seems to come along for the ride? That's not just in your imagination. The high temperature actually causes the blood vessels inside your brain to get wider, to expand. That creates a change in pressure that you feel as that all too familiar throbbing pain. It's a direct result of the heat. And the body aches? It's actually not the heat itself that's making you so sore. It's a side effect of your immune system releasing a whole flood of chemicals that cause inflammation. You can think of it as the collateral damage from your body's own defense forces getting into a massive fight. And it's a feeling we all recognize, isn't it? That deep, nagging ache that somehow finds every single muscle you own. It's just a powerful reminder of the incredible amount of work your body is putting in to get you healthy again. And then comes the relief, the sweat. When this happens, it's a fantastic sign. It means the battle is starting to turn in your favor. Your brain has decided, okay, we can bring the temperature back down now. And it switches on your body's built-in air conditioning system, sweating, to release all that heat it built up. After all that shivering and aching and sweating, it's really no wonder you feel completely and totally wiped out. Your body has just burned through a massive amount of energy to power that immune response. That deep fatigue you feel, it's a very clear command from your body. It's time to rest. So your body's in the middle of this intense battle. And knowing the symptoms is great, but how can you actually support your troops on the front line? Let's get into the playbook for managing a fever and helping your body get back on its feet. And here it is, your simple 5-step game plan to help your body recover. Number 1, prioritize rest. 2, drink a ton of fluids. 3, take fever-reducing medicine if you need it. 4, use lukewarm sponging. And 5, wear light clothing. These are your go-to tools to help your body win. Okay, let's zoom in on hydration for a second, because this is absolutely crucial. Just look at the difference here. When you're running low on fluids, your body's ability to control its temperature just tanks. But when you're properly hydrated, you're giving your body all the resources it needs to cool down effectively and keep up the fight. All right, here are 2 really simple things you can do to help your body cool down from the outside. Sponging with lukewarm water, and it's really important that it's lukewarm, not cold, works because the water evaporates and literally pulls heat away from your skin. And just wearing light breathable clothes is an easy win, letting all that body heat escape instead of trapping it in. So what's the deal with medicine? How does something like paracetamol actually work? Well, it doesn't just magically make you cooler. It's way more clever than that. It goes directly to the part of your brain that's acting like the body's thermostat, and it basically tells it, hey, you can lower the setting now, let's get back to normal. Now, even though a fever is a natural and often helpful process, it is definitely not something you should just ignore. And that brings us to our last and maybe our most important section, how to know when it's time to stop trying to handle it yourself and call in professional backup. So when can you manage at home and when do you need to see a doctor? Well, if your symptoms are uncomfortable but you feel like you've got them under control, you're probably on the right track. But if that fever is just stubbornly high, or if your symptoms are getting worse instead of better, that's a clear signal it's time to get some professional help. And please pay very close attention to these red flags. A fever that just won't budge, even with medicine. Symptoms getting way worse. Or if someone seems extremely drowsy or lethargic. These are all signs the body might be losing the fight and needs help. And listen, never, ever ignore your own gut feeling. If your instinct tells you something is seriously wrong, you need to seek medical advice, period. So after all of this, we're kind of left with this really interesting question. We spend so much time treating the fever like it's the enemy, something we need to crush immediately. But it's pretty clear that it's a very sophisticated and powerful defense system, which really makes you wonder, is the fever the sickness, or is it actually a vital part of the cure? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in for this Explain.